Hey, what's up, man? This is JP the Creator, man, and this is episode 12 of YeahManThePodcast. This is the episode. The episode title is "In Our Image," and today I have Ben the Awesome Newsome and Jeanette, the Asian sensation.
Hey.
And what do y'all think about the images that we're going to show?
I guess I'll go first. When I came across the images, it was kind of astounding at first. It caught my attention. You know, Facebook is a very it starts a conversation. It's a conversation starter. Sometimes it's a controversial conversation starter. But this one in particular, I was like, okay, what is going on here? So the first one I saw.
Yeah.
First one I saw was this one. Was 4 white men total, and they're all on chains around their neck, and the master is black, holding a rifle. So that's what prompted me to actually click on the video, on the photo. I'm gonna show it to you right now. Y'all can see it right here. Had to click on the photo so you see the 4 white men. Then you got the black guy right here and the other one right there. That's what actually prompted me to click on the video. So what do y'all think about it? Like, to me, it was just like, I was like, what is this? What? It's kind of a what if.
Let me ask you a question. Like, are you mad at the image? Are you happy about the image? What's your first initial feeling?
My first initial impression was, what's going on?
Okay.
It was kind of astounding. Like, what is this?
Right.
Well, kind of like that movie. What's that Halloween movie? There's a Christmas. Like, what is this? That's why I was thinking, like, what is this? Like, what is this? Right. So that was kind of like clickbait. It actually. Thank you. Night Before Christmas. It actually prompted me to actually click on the video. I'm like, what is this? So when I clicked on it, I was like, oh, it's reversed. Now we have, or I won't say we, it was like the black man all of a sudden has the power and the white man is powerless. And I feel like coming from a military family, it doesn't really bother me either way. I don't feel like anybody should have power over anybody. I feel if you're human, you're human. You're black, you're white, Asian, whatever. You're human. Nobody should own anybody.
Right. You
should not be considered property because God did not consider us His property. He considers us His people, not His property.
He gave us free will.
Yeah, He gave us free will and everything else. He said, well, you need to obey my commands, but I'm giving you the free will to kind of go against what I said, and they kind of started making their own laws. And, you know, so guys like, all right, I'm going to wipe your asses out. So he's like, I'm going to start all over again.
I was about to say, I think God did kind of see us as property. He didn't want us to have anybody else before Him.
That's true.
And, like, not see us as property. He saw us as, I guess, His children.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like His children.
That's a little bit different than property. Like, he
But your children are your property.
No, they're your children. They're not.
They're
property.
yours.
Yeah, they're my children, but they still have a mind of their own to make their own free judgment. Right. And
but until they're the age of 18,
yeah, they're my responsibility
for them, and they're yours.
They're my responsibility, but I can't control what they do. Now I can't say I'm gonna take this left foot and break it off in your ass.
I was about to say, I grew up with a Korean mom, and I had to do what she said.
Well, I
had no free will until I left home.
I get it, but what I'm saying is you still have a mind of your own, but you're forced to conform with what your parents say. Because if you don't, then you have other consequences, such as leaving the home. you know, unwillingly, but leaving the home. Then you have your own free will. You can do what the fuck you want.
Yeah, but okay, like that picture to me. Let me see. Like, that picture to me. Does it make any of y'all happy? I mean, just for like be real, like for a split second, or
Not really.
you know.
In all honesty, it doesn't make me feel happy.
Right.
It's just that it makes me I don't know how to say it.
It's still sad either way.
Yeah, I mean, nobody should be in chains. But unfortunately, that is, like, America shouldn't be that way.
Right.
But there's a lot of countries in the world that are that way.
Okay.
It's still the
I
same
mean,
to this day.
and yeah, to this day, they still have slaves and so forth in different parts of the country. Now, America was founded on something else.
Right.
You know, people escaped to America to escape, to be able to pursue their religious beliefs, and, you know, sometimes they were sent here because they were punished to be sent here and so forth. I mean,
let me clarify. I'm not a racist person. You know,
does that picture make you happy?
for a split second, yeah. And it
That's
does.
honesty.
It does because I do have white friends that I like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I do business with some white people that are cool. It makes me happy in the sense that now you can see how we feel. Now you can see like how 400 years would put some type of block in our head and make us feel a certain type of way.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't just erase that. Because it was a group of people that came over here, was tricked to come over here, and now just, let's make them not even human. Let's make them animals, man. Let's make them pets. Let's make them
Workhorses.
Yeah, workhorses, mules, and
Slaves.
Yeah, slaves. Yeah, but it just it makes it for a split second. And because it makes me say, like, it makes me think, like, now you can see how we feel. Now you can see, like, I don't know anyone that was a slave, but, it sticks with you. Because you know that somebody, like, in your family was treated like this. And wasn't treated as a human being. And I think that it's a group of the population that will never know how this feels until you. So I hope this picture makes people say, man, I know how you feel. Or try to understand that.
I think that picture would make, like, racist people, I think it would make, like, racist white people or white supremacists, that picture would make them angry.
Okay.
It would outrage them because they say, well, we're supposed to be the supreme being and we're the almighty
White people.
White people, right? But the thing about it is, there was never supposed to be a supreme race. It just came about that way because they come over to a land that has already been here. Columbus came over to a land that's already been here. And then you're bringing all your little disease and everything else over to a place that hasn't had to deal with any of that. And then you enslave them. And they said they had sticks that came out, they had fire come out of them, which are called the rifles. And they had these high, creatures, like the horses. And it's one of those things where it's like that the Native Americans that were here already, until that time they came over, they were minding their own business. And so that's like me sitting in my crib right now, minding my own business, and then you two bust in. Hey, we own you now. Excuse me? Do I know you? I can help you. Like, you want something to eat? You got the fridge right there. Like, no, we own you.
Ben is very hospitable that way.
You know, I'm like, you want something to eat? You welcome to the fridge, but you don't own me. And that's what they did. That's what Columbus did when he came over here. We sit here and celebrate Columbus Day, but it's actually National Enslavement Day because he came over here to a place that was already existed, and he tried to say that, oh, I found this, so I claim this. So all these kids over here learn about Columbus. Columbus ain't nothing but a damn thug.
Okay, let's talk about this because I wanted to talk about this for a long time.
Columbus?
I don't think you should. Do you think we should celebrate Columbus Day?
No.
I mean, personally, it's a day off. But
No,
It is not a day off for me, so I don't celebrate it either way.
I still get paid for it though, so I'm saying. I mean, not worth it.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with myself. You know, I don't think we should celebrate Columbus Day because we in America now, where we educated on a lot of stuff.
Wait a minute. From what I understand, Columbus didn't actually discover America.
He got lost.
Yeah, he
That's
never
what I'm
even
saying.
came here.
He wouldn't have
From what
found
I
this place.
understand, he never even landed on this country.
He got lost and landed here thinking he was going back home. But my thing is, if I get lost and I stop at your house, I can't say, oh, I discovered your house. That's what he did. He came and discovered another land and then just took it over. So I don't personally get Columbus Day off, so I'm sorry for those of you that do, but I don't think it should be. It's just, he's a thug. I mean, that's like me saying, I'm taking over your block, and you ain't got shit to say about it. And if you do got something to say about it, I got a cap for your ass. Right?
Basically.
That's what he did. He said, I'm taking over your block, and you ain't got nothing to say about it. And I got these other people over here, these other different colored people, meaning us. You count too, because you probably in there. So you somewhere in there. We got these other colored people over here. We're gonna sell them to you because they're property. They're not human. So you can whip them, you can do whatever to them, and just make sure they do all the work.
I feel like we should replace it. It don't have to be a black person, don't have to be a minority person. Just replace it with somebody that actually did something good in society.
But bro, the thing about it is, okay, what's the national bird? What's our national bird?
Eagle.
An eagle, right? Y'all know an eagle's a thief, right? Eagle's a thief. Eagle's a bully. I'm dead serious. The eagle's a bully. They steal fish. They're bullies.
Don't steal the. Who did they steal the fish
They
from?
steal fish from other birds and shit. I read about it somewhere, but
I was like, they steal fish from other birds?
I read it somewhere. They actually said that the turkey, the one we eat, gobble turkey we eat every Thanksgiving, when he dies, and I got all the refreshments. I have refreshments, everything.
Where is this conversation going?
The turkey should have been a national bird.
Okay.
That's what he said.
Why?
Because the turkey is an honorable bird, not the eagle's not. I'm saying, y'all think I'm playing? Look it up. All you YouTube fans, all our subscribers, look it up and leave a comment and tell me I'm right. Then the Micheal Newsome is right about the turkey being a national bird.
I did hear that.
Or be the honorable, because it's honorable?
I forgot what the fuck they said. I forgot it was years ago I read it, players. It was some years ago I read about it, and they said that the eagle should not be a national bird.
It's an honorable bird.
We have another picture.
So the next picture.
Let's go to the next picture.
The next picture.
We are getting way off topic about Columbus.
No, we're still. I'm never saying Columbus was a thug. That's all it is to it. Thug life.
Ask what person? It don't have to be black, minority. But what person do you think we should celebrate instead of Columbus Day?
Well, From what I understand, a lot of people, instead of saying Happy Columbus Day, were saying Happy Indigenous People Day,
Okay.
which is the name.
But they're not
American people.
indigenous. They were here already.
That's what I mean.
Isn't that what that means?
That's what I mean.
Oh, never mind. My bad, y'all. I got hyped up. My bad. You know, I get hyped up a little bit, so you know, you gotta. And Ben also.
Ben's been on a roll tonight, so.
So
it's an honorable bird.
I'm just saying, man. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, shit. I didn't taste it.
It's an honorable tasty bird.
I'm sorry, bro. So anyway, we got another picture. So the next picture is of a white slave lady breastfeeding the black baby, and she's got the black lady is the actual master. So let's talk about that. What do y'all think?
Honestly, I didn't know until recently that they used to do that. Where
You didn't know that?
no,
Yeah.
I never knew that. I never knew that the black women would nurse the babies and so forth. And that picture right there, I mean, it's, I don't know, I just, I mean, I really don't feel any type of way about it. I mean, I guess it's like eye-opening because I never realized that happened. So.
I feel like it was more of a again, the roles are switched. So now you see how, like you said, how we feel in that picture. Now you see how our women were treated as
Nurses.
Yeah, just nurses aides, and it's like you're still not human, but you're human enough to feed my child. Because my breasts aren't gonna be ruined by this child. They're gonna ruin yours.
So
well, breastfeeding is painful, from what I understand. So maybe that's why.
So that's not even. So technically, okay. So technically, that's not her baby, right? Because she don't have.
It's the black.
No, it's the black woman's baby, but she's feeding. The black white woman's feeding her.
Okay, well, okay, but
it's still her baby. She can count her.
So when, like back in the day,
okay.
the masters of the plantation, the masters and mistresses of the plantation, when the women had babies, they didn't nurse their babies. They gave them to the black woman to nurse their babies.
But then you had the masters that were over here fucking the slaves, the women slaves, and having these mixed children, and that's where we have a lot of light-skinned children come. No offense to anybody that's light-skinned, just saying that's what happened. They would come out and they would say, well, so that child would be like kind of torn, but they would still put them with the slaves, and like you're because
they would still consider baby black.
It's still considered black. Baby still considered black, one, and then number two, they're like, I don't want nobody to know I was over here messing with these animals over here. Like it's kind of like animalism. What's that called? Animalism or animal
Bestiality.
Bestiality. Thank you. Bestiality. It's kind of like it's considered bestiality because you're over here fucking a human as you consider a animal. You know what I'm saying? Bestiality wasn't a defined term back then, but that's what it would be defined as now. If we still had that shit going on.
They were raping the black women.
Yeah, exactly. That's all they're doing. But as soon as the baby came out, they were like, I don't know why I was messing with them. Oh,
that's not my baby.
Hey, my baby. But no good damn way he's over here messing with her every day.
Thomas Jefferson had a lot of biracial kids, from what I understand.
I'm pretty sure he did.
I mean, like for that picture, I just don't know enough about the history to really feel any type of way about it.
Well, I feel like that now they know how our women feel. And, you know, this kind of goes a little off subject, but everybody says, Ben, you look like somebody messing with a white girl. Or, Ben, you look like somebody. It's like, first of all, let me tell you something. I love women. I love women. I don't give a damn if she's black, white, Asian. The Asian sensation over here. Beautiful lady. Mexican, don't matter. It don't matter to Ben. Don't matter. They say, oh man, you should mess with your beautiful black queens and where. Look, first of all, everybody's a queen to me. Don't matter. My mama a queen. That's my black queen. My mama. Ain't nobody gonna take my mama place as black queen. Now, with that being said, I have to break away from that. And if somebody can prove to me that they deserve that title, whether she's black, white, Asian, Hispanic, whatever, she's still a woman, she's still human, so it don't matter. I grew up in a military family, it don't matter. That's my rant. I'm done.
I don't know, man. This picture is kind of part of me is glad that a black woman is a professional and kind of got her own. But it's sad, man, that you
I
have.
don't think she's a professional. She's just a rich lady.
How much she can't be a professional?
Because back in the day, women's weren't professionals. That's a whole different topic right there. Back in the day, women were not considered professionals. They didn't have professional careers.
And they could not vote.
But why?
And they couldn't vote.
But why do it have to be during that time, though? These pictures don't have a time frame. It could be like Planet of the Apes, where it's right now.
Where they consider humans, humans animals,
and
and
like Planet of the Apes,
get your filthy hands on damn dirty human.
Where it's like right now. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Or in the future, it don't have to be.
The background setting shows that it's old. And the white lady has like a maid's hat on.
A bonnet.
But everything.
She's wearing a bonnet.
Everything old comes back around.
What you saying? So you're saying make a full circle, but in reverse.
As far as circle, yeah. So I mean, I don't see a time frame. So I don't really feel like it has to be during that time.
I think it's implied.
The picture was to imply that she's like a socialite, like she's a rich woman who has a white slave nursing her baby.
Okay, cool.
It's considered. These pictures are considered art. They're not, realistic pictures.
So here's my question. Yeah.
Okay, but let me say. I kind of look at the picture and I feel like the black lady is a professional lady.
Okay.
Socialite.
A woman in some social standing.
Right, she got money. Okay. I'm glad of that. At the same time, it's kind of like the white lady. I wonder if that's her baby, in the sense that like the black dude kind of knocked her up and was like, I don't know. I kind of feel like that's black. This is what I feel about it. It might be totally different, but it feels like to me like her husband knocked up a white chick. Okay, and that's actually his baby because she got the milk, and then it's kind of like, well, we're gonna act like it's our baby because it's black enough for us to pull it out.
Okay.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
a way to look at it.
That's a way to look at it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Back in that time, or if you're saying it's reversing roles,
Right.
Here's my question to y'all: do you think that the child formed a bond with the slave, or a bond with the person that's not feeding him and just kind of parading him around like a pet? Because people carry around dogs in their little purses and shit, like that. But the baby is more of a pet than considered a human. But the slave that's taking care of them, do you think they form more of a bond with them? Naturally form more of a bond with the slave? The white
Have y'all
lady,
ever seen that movie, The Help?
Yeah.
I heard about it, I never watched it.
Oh my God, you need to watch that movie. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
But the Help it's set like I want to say before women were able to voice their opinions too much.
Before women's suffrage.
Before the women's rights? Oh. Well, kind of. Where women weren't, I mean, they were still supposed to be more submissive to their man. They were supposed to be dainty and feminine and all that other bullshit. But they also had housekeepers, maids. They weren't considered slaves. They were considered the help. And, you know, the help was always, most likely, always a black woman. And the black woman was the one that, the help was the one that was bringing up these white babies. These women are having babies. They don't know how to take care of their babies. They get frustrated with their babies. They just pawn them off on the black lady, the help, to raise their kids. And the girl that's like the main character, Emma Stone, I think that's her name.
She kind of outed him, didn't she? She like.
Well, she wrote a book, and she got her research from the help. Like, all these black women were helping her to write her book with their different stories.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like, and she wrote it, like, anonymously. She didn't, you know, put her name. She didn't put her name as the author or anything like that. She didn't put down where her resources came from or her research came from. But some of the stories were pretty specific, and they knew.
Exactly.
Like, they could figure out who they were talking about.
Right.
But yeah, but she had a serious bond with the woman that was their maid. And when her mom fired the woman, she found out that her mom fired the woman, and then the woman ended up, the lady that was their maid, she ended up passing away. And when the girl found out, she was really, really angry at her mom because she felt like the lady that was the maid was the one that raised her.
She was one
So she had that bond with her. So, yeah, it's possible if that's not her baby, but she's nursing that baby and she's probably going to be the one raising that baby's going to be attached to the person that's doing that, that's showing that nurturing, that's giving them that nurturing.
Before we had research out that shows that if you nurture, you're gonna probably be one more or less gonna be attached to.
Yeah, I mean it's same with animals too. Animals are like that too.
Mm. Okay.
But I mean, it's a powerful picture. I mean, like, granted, you know, we have different, you know, I guess thoughts as to what we think about it. Like when we see it, I'm thinking it's from, you know, when they had the slaves that were raising their babies, or the slaves that were nurturing their babies while they were just being socialites and just being rich. I don't know what rich people do. I'm not rich. It's like, so we have another picture.
So we have another one.
This picture, I think I identify a little bit more with, not so much.
So we have another one that Jeanette probably, but we can't really identify with, but Jeanette probably can. So,
okay, so everybody knows you go to the nail shop, the people doing your nails, more likely than not, are Asian. Most likely Vietnamese, but no, seriously.
Okay.
I was like, I'm not being racist or nothing. It's mostly Vietnamese people. Anyways, so this picture is showing a bunch of Asian ladies getting their feet, you know, getting pedicures by white women. And they're just, you know, relaxing and chilling and getting their feet done by these white women.
Laughing and cackling and carrying on.
Right? But see, like, nowadays you go to the nail salon, you know, they stepping it up. The Asian people are stepping it up. They like, you want a mimosa, you want a soda, you want water. They just hook you up. The place I went to go get my nails done, they had a bottle of tequila and they had mixers. And I was like, Jesus.
You said you want water? He's like, alcohol. I said, Get the alcohol. He's like, all right, cool.
You ain't got your nails done?
Got my feet done.
Oh, well, go ahead.
Well, what this place?
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
What he play for that, man? My feet is.
You can go over there to I go over there to Live Oak and get them done at the S&D nail or something like that.
How much?
Like, well, I get the like $30 pack, $40, $45 package, $35.
Okay. My feet is disgusting.
Yeah, they probably talking about you. Why you sitting there, bro?
JP, we don't even know.
On the cool, they're talking about you. They're talking about your feet, but
Oh yeah, they talked about you.
They'll clean them hoes up. so just a second, man. So fellas, if you got some crusty ass feet,
They're gonna talk about you.
they gonna talk about you.
I already tell.
But don't be afraid to go get your feet done. It is not gay. You are taking care of yourself, and I'm pretty sure your woman will appreciate you getting your feet done.
She will. She will definitely appreciate it. Because I know I ain't doing my man's feet. So I touch no feet. No feet.
But you expect to touch your feet though?
Huh?
You expect to touch your feet though?
Who?
Your man.
No, I don't like nobody touching my feet. I don't want to touch nobody's feet. I have this thing. I don't like feet. Feet are gross. So
you got them in shoes?
that's why I love shoes. Because they cover feet.
Yeah, so you got them in shoes, so what's the point to never mind. Anyway, that's a whole nother subject. Well, that's a whole other podcast.
Point is, I'm not that woman that's gonna rub your feet. And no. And if a man tries to rub my feet, we're gonna have issues. I'm probably gonna kick him because I'm ticklish and I don't like people touching my feet. I don't even like to go get my toes done because they're touching my feet. I have an issue. I don't like it.
Pedicure,
No. But I did go get my nails done the other day and they did a fabulous job. And
yeah, I see you got the whole Halloween thing going on.
They're just black, but they're so pretty. But these are my nails. They're not fake.
Over there, you know what I'm saying?
These are my nails. They're not fake.
I feel you.
Anyways,
that's a good thing.
so I thought of this picture the other day because I knew we were going to do this show this week. And I was talking to Ben. I was like, hey, I was getting my nails done. I was totally thinking of that picture, but I'm Asian, so I guess it doesn't really matter. It's like I was having, I'm Asian, but I had an Asian woman doing my nails, but she's a different type of Asian than me. So I was like,
Explain it.
Explain it? Well, I'm half Korean. The people that do my nails are Vietnamese. So she was a different type of Asian than me. Like there's different types of Hispanics. You got Mexican, you got Puerto Rican, you got Cubans, Dominicans, you got and the Asians.
Dark as black folks.
I have uncles. I have uncles on my Puerto Rican side. I have uncles that are JP's complexion. So yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
But
English.
no, they don't speak no English. But where was I going with this? Oh, I was thinking about this picture because, I'm Asian. I was getting my nails done, but I was like, yeah, but I'm getting my nails done by another Asian person. So it's not exactly the same. But I'm more Americanized, so I guess I wouldn't be considered Asian because I'm half Asian. I'm not full Asian.
It's kind of like the patients I took care of at the Knicks. That a lot of them would come. Y'all heard of ICE, right? The ICE. I forget what it's called.
Immigration people.
They're pretty much. They're immigration. They come and arrest.
Immigration police.
They come and arrest people that don't have naturalization papers or whatever. And I've had multiple people come in that don't speak English. We actually had one Russian dude come in one time, and he punched rubber tag. He punched one of the guards or whatever, and we just happened to have a lady that was from Ukraine or Russia, something like that. So she happened to speak his language. And I thought that was actually pretty cool because I'm like, wow, of all places in Texas, this dude ends up here in the immigration police or whatever. And they basically detain him for a while and then they deport him back. They check their records and whatever. They go from blue, which is like yellow to blue, like which is like high, like low, moderate, whatever. And they all the way up to high, like you have murders over here, but you're over here in America, right? So this guy, she was talking to him and she's speaking her language. I'm like, man, that is so amazing that we're in this one little place of all places and you
Texas.
you just happen to speak his language, and he was like, "Yeah, I understand you." Like, it was just baffling. But this in particular, bunch of Asian women getting their feet done, bunch of white ladies washing their feet or doing their feet or whatever. Again, it's kind of like one of those. It's reversed. Now you kind of know how we feel. But my question is, do you think that if they were more Americanized, that they would still choose a nail salon to work in? Because it seems like when they
Asian
come,
people?
it seems like when they come here, that's the first thing they do is kind of like open a shop.
I think that going to school for nails and getting the certification for that is a lot easier than it is to get a degree.
But
And they learn, they're a lot of times it's like family businesses, and so they learn from their family, and they have to be certified to work in the nail shop.
right, that's true.
So
It's like barbers.
yeah, but I think that maybe it's easier considering, if they're more not Americanized
Okay.
and they don't speak they don't speak the language very well.
Okay.
They probably don't read very well.
So they find.
So
they
it's
find where they
easier to get certification to be able to do nails, do hair, do whatever, than it is to go and get a degree and get like an office job or a professional type of job.
Okay.
So maybe if they were more Americanized, maybe if they grew up here or something like that, they probably wouldn't work in a nail shop.
Well, see, I knew a girl, I think her name was Raquel, and this was when I was in high school. And this was when I was in high school, and she went to Justin, and she went to school for cosmetology.
J-Rock.
And she just wanted to do nails. She's a pretty girl.
And she probably does bring-in nails, doesn't she?
I haven't talked to her in a while, but she did. And that's just what she wanted to go to.
Most of the girls that went to Justin became strippers.
And so she really did. I don't know where that came from, but
Sorry.
But yeah, but she really did though. And
But
I don't know what she
some
did. Yeah.
some girls, a lot of girls nowadays, and I'm not saying that, girls are, like, there's Asian people coming here just to go to cosmetology school or go, to nail tech school or something like that. But nowadays, makeup has become such a big deal that girls want to go to cosmetology school. They want to be makeup artists and they want to have their YouTube channels and
but
whatever. But I think that when it comes to doing nails, and maybe I should have asked. Maybe I should have asked them, like, what made you decide? Because I'm pretty sure they weren't doing nails when they were in Vietnam.
I don't know if it's like
yeah.
like when black people have a barbershop. Because it's like I was talking to a barber, and I'm talking to my barber Preston Bell, and like
Go see that man.
yeah, he cool. And so basically,
He got a Facebook page.
he got a Facebook page.
Tell him about the Facebook page.
When you think about Preston,
His name is Preston Bell.
Yeah, Preston Bell.
TJP's barber.
Just like you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you're talking to Preston.
I'm talking to Preston, and it was just like that's his profession.
He liked doing it.
Yeah, so he had did some college. He played college ball a little bit, and he went to college, and he did pretty well doing it. So I went to his house. He lived in Lakeside, and he just liked doing it. He got an app and now he got his own place where he does hair with his barber, and he gets a lot of people coming in. So it's like that's just a business. So
if you're good, you're gonna have people,
right.
tagging your place. Like the lady that does my nails, I like the way she did them the first time. I was like, I'll come back, and
That's just good business, though, too.
but yeah, if they do good, if they do good work, if they take care of it, they pay attention to detail and stuff like that, it's important. And
so does that supposed to be? I guess since I'm not Asian, does that supposed to be like a negative stereotype or? So
I feel like it is. I feel like it is.
Well,
like a lot of like in the East Side, a lot of Asian own hair stores. Yeah, beauty supplies.
I feel like there was a place called T Mart in San Angelo.
Like to be real, man.
Asian people are entrepreneurs.
Right.
They're very entrepreneurial.
I feel like that. I feel like sometimes it's a stereotype because they come over here, but they have more of a business sense than we think. Just because they don't speak our language doesn't mean that they're dumb or inferior or whatever. It's just that we can't communicate, but they're pretty good on it. They're like, look, I'm a gangster with this, bro. Like, you just don't know. Like, I was over here taking up corners and everything, but I just come over here and just put it into a legal business now.
Yeah.
And I was getting my hair cut by this guy named Michael Stovall. Y'all go see him over there on Gambler, Cut and Shave, the barber college. Michael Stovall. Go see that man. The man's great. Anyways, sorry, I threw it out there, bro. I gotta get you.
Since we throwing out who does our hair and stuff like that, my girl Cassie, she's the bomb.
Cassie who up? Cassie who up?
Cassie Vega.
Vega, where's she at?
She's at her house. You gotta
She
schedule
on
that.
Facebook?
Yes, she is.
Tell them to schedule that. Schedule Cassie Vega on Facebook.
You gotta hit her up on her DMs.
Hit her up in the DM. Don't be trying to holler at her.
Amazing. Yeah, don't holler at her because she has a big husband.
Don't be trying to holler at her.
She has a big husband. But no, but she's amazing with hair. And I think with girls, I don't know, maybe it's the same with guys because I don't know if you find a barber, like I know some guys, some guys, they find a barber and they're like, all right, this barber is a shit. I want him to do my hair all the time.
Right.
Girls are like that too. Like we find somebody that does our hair the way we like it and we're like, this person understands my hair. Because I don't know how many times I've gone and gotten my hair done, like even in like super duper expensive places to get your hair done. By the way, Cassie is amazing rates, but it's like, I've paid like $50 for a haircut that I was like so unhappy with.
How you spell Cassie?
Cassie.
Well, see, they might spell the K. You know what I'm saying?
Cassie. Last name Vega.
Okay.
Spell Vega.
V is in Victor. E. G is in golf. A.
Mine is Michael Stovall. Micheal. Stovall. Stovall. I think somebody did.
Okay.
Stovall.
So Preston Bell is PRES.
We have the spelling bee now, y'all.
BELL. And
Preston Bell.
Yeah.
Like it rings a bell.
Yeah, and this dude, man, he never. I mean, like, you know how barbers leave and then they go off somewhere.
Yeah, go for like 3 hours and
this
shit.
Dude doesn't do that, man.
I can't stand that.
But you have to set an appointment though.
But
I was not saying.
I set an appointment.
I used to bartend at this bar, and there was a barber next door to us, and my best guy friend would go and get his haircut there, but the barber also had like a side hustle, so yeah, he was gone for a few hours sometimes. He had his own little side hustle, doing his own thing, making his own money, and then
y'all got me another rant, because I can't stand barbers like that. I can't stand barbers. If you get there, you sitting there for 2 hours, no good and damn well you been sitting there. Oh, say I'm about to go on lunch. Gone for an hour.
Well, let's have him on.
3 hours.
Let's have him on the podcast.
that's why you have to set up an appointment.
Okay,
But even with the appointment time,
Okay.
they got in 4 days in front of you.
Well, that's unprofessional. If you have an appointment, you should keep that appointment. You
Okay,
schedule your lunch
let's do
around
this.
it.
Let's do this. We're gonna invite all these people to the podcast.
Okay.
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 All right.
I'll ask.
I will
She has a child, so you know.
Well, Mike got three.
She has a child and she works.
Mike got
Okay?
She got a big
Work.
husband though.
Huh?
But she got a big husband.
He can take
Yeah,
that.
but he's like a principal,
So
so he's got
Well,
a
he
job
live
too.
with it.
I'll ask her.
Okay, Mom.
I'm not saying she's gonna make it. I said I will ask her.
Okay, all right.
There's a phone. There's always a phone call.
I know.
We got the little speaker on there. We done-
Okay, so back to the.
Anyways, back to the
Anyway.
pictures.
Anyway,
Sorry.
back to the picture.
No. I'm fascinated with the Asian one.
Okay, why are we fascinated by the Asian one?
I mean,
You like?
Are you trying to figure out
I kind
if?
of do on the cool.
Do you kind of try? What did you say?
You know, I like Asian women.
Oh, well.
He do.
Take it like every woman. I ain't never done a man that likes as many women as this guy right here.
Okay.
I love women. So.
But are you trying to see if maybe
I
it's a
feel-
bad stereotype for people to assume that
Asian women.
Asian
don't
people
do
are
that.
going to be all nail techs or something?
I feel like
I have an answer.
I can say I don't know.
Well, I'm asking
I don't
if
know.
that's
I don't I don't know. I want to see how it's racist from somebody that's Asian. You know what I mean? So it's like I look at it as okay. Like I look at people. Okay, like I get massages, right? And I look at it like they doing me a service. You know what I mean? And I feel like they went to school for it. So that's what they decided to do what they like. Some of them can make a lot of money. So you know, it's just like with a barber. A lady that gets massages, a nail tech,
Mechanic.
a mechanic, a plumber, they can make a lot of money. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it's deemed as not, you know, sometimes they make more money than people go to college.
The one
Oh,
rich
yeah.
one race does this. Like, that's what they're all supposed to do. Now there was. I ain't mean to cut you off.
That's
No,
what I'm trying to, I can see where it's a stereotype.
It's a stereotype. It's not, I wouldn't say it's racist so much,
More of a
but it's
stereotype.
more of a stereotype. Whereas it's also a stereotype like all Asian people are good at math. We're not.
Well, I was gonna say that, but see, I was gonna say that because there was one particular one at the nail shop I went to get my feet done, and she's actually a mathematics professor at the school at St. Philip's, but she was at the shop helping out her cousin.
See?
So she's like, "It's not my full time job. I'm over here helping my cousin out."
Maybe
So-
it was something she was doing to go to school.
That too. I mean, so I was like, you're a math professor? Like, why are you here? She said, because I'm helping my cousin out. I'm helping my family. Like, okay, I can see that. And then we started like seeing like the like little dynamics, like, oh, that's your cousin, she's the owner.
But why is it seen as negative? I mean, 'cause that could be like a business.
It's-
you know, like you gotta have skill to do that.
It's just because.
Yes.
It's just because you don't see a lot. Okay, put it this way: how many white women have you seen doing nails?
I mean, okay, now I used to go to Mulan, right?
Okay.
And
But those are students.
yeah, so I mean, I never had an Asian do that. You know what I mean? So it was mainly Hispanic.
But if you go to like a nail shop, that it's gonna be more likely than not mostly Asian people.
But you know what I figured out though?
But one time I did have a black lady do my nails, and she did it okay.
Decent job.
It wasn't my favorite one. It wasn't my favorite. I didn't go back to her.
You know what I figured out though? Is that a lot of other minorities, they go to the high-end, ritzy places. out there in Stone Oak and Dominion. Like there's one nurse that she doesn't like being a nurse, so she became a nail tech. But she's still a nurse, but she does nail tech too, and she's Hispanic. Well, Hispanic and white. I can't really tell.
Maybe she likes doing nails.
But what I'm saying is, there are other races that do it. It's just more of, like you said, a stereotype as far as Asians doing that. But they go to, you don't see them out here on this side of town in the Northeast because they go out to the far end with the rich folks.
Okay.
Who, the Asian people?
No, the other races that do nails. They go like
Asian people are everywhere.
They're everywhere.
Let me ask this. Asians are more closely connected to the black people, right?
What do you mean?
Okay, because if you go in a black neighborhood, how many Asian stores you got?
As far as like hair stores and stuff like that?
So,
Like Black Fox around Walton?
Yeah, you're not Black Fox.
Black Fox on Walton.
Okay, I'm talking about.
What Asian people?
No, I'm talking, man, I can't think of this dude's name right now. Store right now, man. The dude's gonna get mad at me.
But you know what? It's because Asian people have a business sense where they're like, you know what? I'll go to the black neighborhoods. I'll go do nails there.
Okay, so
and they're gonna make money.
Okay.
Because they know
a lot.
They know that women like to get their nails done.
Okay, so why would, instead of white people, why wouldn't it be black people?
What? Making that business?
No. I guess it's what.
Oh, you mean on the picture?
Yeah.
Maybe because back in the day, the only people that could afford to get their nails done were white people.
Okay. So you're still looking at the back in the day picture.
Yeah, that of course I'm looking at all these pictures as back in the day. Like nowadays we can't compare these stereotypes with the way things are nowadays. Because nowadays, you know, I mean, yes, we can compare the slave picture, but we don't have slaves right now here. So that was back in the day. We don't have black women nursing white babies right now. That was back in the day.
Well, didn't Georgia, the country, just recently get freed? Not Georgia the state, Georgia the country.
That's a whole other country. We're not talking about that country. We're talking about this country.
But they had slaves. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I'm
so
just
it's still
saying
modern day slaves.
Yeah, but it's not something that we identify with. We don't live in Georgia. We've never been to. Have you been to Georgia?
The state, big booty women.
You're talking about the country now.
We're talking about the country. You the one that said the country.
I didn't say the country.
Have you been to Georgia, the country?
No.
Okay, have you?
Why wouldn't I?
Exactly. I've never been to Georgia, the country, so we're not talking about Georgia, the country. We're talking about here, United States.
Asian sensation.
We're just talking about here, United States.
Okay.
So we're talking about now, like, stereotypes, you know, stereotypes.
Right.
You know, just like, you know, Asian people have a lot of stereotypes. They're stereotyped to be mean. They're stereotyped to be stingy. They're stereotyped to be very good at math. They're stereotyped to be nail techs or accountants. I don't know. There's a lot of stereotypes for Asian people.
Mm-hmm.
Asian people have a lot of stereotypes for other races. Like, Asian people think that their daughters should marry doctors and lawyers. You don't know how many times I've had that conversation with my mom. Why don't you marry a doctor? Why don't you have a lawyer boyfriend? Because I don't like them. I like those thugs. Leave me alone. Let me date my black boys. And it's like, but my, you know, like, Asian people have their stereotypes too. And Asian people have their issues with other Asian people. Like, Korean people don't really like Japanese people. Do you know the reason?
No.
Because back in the day, Japanese people used to keep Korean people as slaves.
Oh, okay.
So, and to this day, even though they don't do it anymore, there's a lot of Korean people that don't like Japanese people. You know?
So So a Korean person and a Japanese person wouldn't necessarily get together?
I don't have problems with Japanese people.
I'm just saying.
My best friend in middle school was a Japanese boy. And my mom had a heart attack almost. Why are you hanging around with that Japanese boy? Why not? He's a good guy. You know, he's my friend. You know? But I didn't, because I grew up military-wise as well, I didn't grow up with the same racist viewpoints that a lot of people that did not grow up military-wise did.
When I watched the Bruce Lee movies, like, you Japs, like, hey, you Japs, get your ass out here, or something like that, like they have a new form called karate.
Dude, you know what is the most racist movie against Asian people that I have ever seen in my life?
Which one?
Gran Torino with Clint Eastwood.
Gran Torino.
He lived next door to Asian people, and he had that badass car, the Gran Torino, and he hated Asian people. I swear to God, I learned more derogatory terms for Asian people in that movie than I heard in my life.
Like the one called Zipperhead.
He said that.
Zipperhead.
He said Zipperhead. He said
Zipperhead is a very derogatory
Jab, chink.
Yeah.
He said nips. I've never heard that one before. Nips. I don't even know what the hell nips means, but I was like,
nips.
I watched that movie and I was like, I feel like I should be really offended. Because I feel like I should be really offended because I don't even know most of these fucking derogatory terms that he was saying for Asian people. And I grew up with a whole bunch of, like, I grew up being called Jap and Chink and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm not Japanese and I'm not Chinese, I'm Korean.
But, you know.
Okay, Gook. That's not Korean either, but okay.
Gook is Vietnamese.
Yes, I know what Gook is.
But a lot of people don't know that Zipperhead came from a term that when Vietnam had hit and we went over there, some of the snipers would hit a Vietnamese person in the head, and it would kind of unzip, their head would look like it unzipped.
That's gross.
So it would blow their head apart, and so it looked like it was a zipper. So they called it, which came in term zipperhead. So that's a very.
I heard a different reason for that name.
Wow.
I heard it was from when, if the tanks would, they would run over people with the tanks,
mm-hmm.
and it would leave the marks on their face like a zipper. That's what I heard. That's where that came from. That could be what. But I could be wrong. You know, I don't know the whole history behind all the derogatory Asian words.
A lot of people think that it's just Vietnam, but you forget about Laos and Cambodia that were right by Vietnam too. So a lot of people
there was the Korean War.
They're in the Korean War, and which my grandfather didn't fight in. My mom's side, he came back where fucked up, but. Anyways, point is, a lot of people forget about Laos and Cambodia, and I worked with a girl that was from Cambodia at the Knicks, and she said that somebody said, so you're from Cameroon? She said, no, that's Africa. She said Cambodia. I said, yeah, Laos and Vietnam. She's like, oh, you know about that? Yeah. And she's like, wow, I'm surprised. She looked at me like, you know, I was like, yeah, you got Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia right there. It's all 1, 2, 3.
Ben's educating us because I don't even know that.
So Vietnam, Vietnam, this big old piece that we really had nothing to do with. We shouldn't have been in that war at all. That war should not have happened.
Yeah,
because you cannot stop the spread of communism. But we're not gonna talk about that because people are gonna get all pissed off. You know, I'm not trying to offend anybody. So,
well, just to say this, man, my dad was in Vietnam, and that was very.
It was a very. I
kind of feel like
that was a rough war.
It was very rough, and I commend all the people that went there, and the ones that are still alive. To this day, I'm like, hey man, thank you for your service. I understand where you're coming from. Whatever you feel.
I think America kind of turned on it.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. They turned.
America turned on their Vietnam vets, and that's why there's a lot of angry Vietnam vets.
pretty messed up how they did them. But so they went over there, and it's like you have what's called guerrilla warfare, and we're running out of time. So
we have one more picture.
We didn't get on the last picture. We got a little off topic. We got the last picture, and this is a good one.
This is the one that was the most impactful for most of us.
So it's a little white girl. Yes, white girl. Remember I said it's white girl. Did I say that? White
girl. White girl.
I said white girl. So it's a little white girl, and y'all know that most people back in the day it was all white dolls. Well, she's looking at a bunch of black baby dolls. So look at that. She's looking at a bunch of black baby dolls, and she's trying to figure out which one she's gonna pick. Now, most people back in the day, as we depict this to be, were looking at white baby dolls, right?
Yeah.
She's looking at black baby dolls.
Yeah, when I was a kid.
What y'all think about it?
When I was a kid, like so many years ago, there wasn't a lot of baby dolls that looked like me. Most of the baby dolls had blonde hair, blue eyes, little white baby dolls. I'm not blonde hair, I'm not blue-eyed, and I don't have big eyes. So, I didn't identify with these baby dolls. And now, thank God, the toy companies are becoming more diverse and they are becoming more inclusive, and they're having more dolls of color. They have more dolls they show dolls with Barbie has a fat Barbie doll. She's not fat, but she's a thick Barbie doll.
It's thick.
And I was excited. I was so excited when I saw a fat Barbie doll. I was like, oh, look, it's a fat Barbie.
Not that thick.
Okay, thick. A thick Barbie doll. She was a curvy Barbie doll.
Curvy. Yes.
And she was a bigger Barbie doll compared to the other Barbie dolls. But Barbie, there's a whole documentary about how Barbie set all these unrealistic expectations or whatever for women, and because you look at a Barbie and you're like, yeah, that's not even realistic for a woman to have a chest like that, a waist that itty bitty. But Barbie didn't have no butt.
I love big women.
Barbie had no ass.
Anyways, single.
But Ken didn't have nothing either. Ken wasn't packing.
We're not
gonna talk about Ken. Okay. But I can imagine, I'm not black, but I can imagine, as a little black girl, you go to the store and you see nothing but white baby dolls. So I can imagine how it would have felt, because I never saw any Asian baby dolls. I never really saw any Hispanic baby dolls. And I'm both Asian and Hispanic, so I never saw any dark hair, dark eye baby dolls, because they were always blonde hair, blue eye, white baby dolls. So I can kind of identify with a little black girl that would go to the store and see all these white baby dolls and be like, oh, I want a baby doll, but you can't find one that looks like you.
That's the kind of thing I fear for my daughter, is that her being 4, she has was the doll white? I think the doll was white, but then she had Moana. So I don't think my daughter has she's 4, so she really doesn't have a sense of, it's a white baby doll, it's a white baby doll. She just it's a doll, whatever, it's mine. Don't touch it, it's mine. And she's real into Minnie Mouse.
Well, usually, little girls, they get baby dolls and they're like, this is my baby. So a lot of times you want a baby that kind of looks like you.
Yeah,
and it's and that's what trips me out, because I meet Asian people and they're like, I want a blonde hair, blue eyed baby. Well, good luck with that. Because it's gonna be very happy. I'm thinking that's probably not going to happen, but who knows?
Unless she's just a surrogate.
Even if she could date the whitest, blondest, bluest eyed boy.
I said surrogate.
Oh, she had somebody
the baby
else.
for somebody else.
Yeah,
That's the only way it's gonna
but,
happen.
I mean, she wouldn't have her own baby.
No,
That
that's what I'm
had
saying.
blonde
That's
hair
what I'm getting at. She's not.
I mean,
she's
she
never
may
gonna
have a baby that had lighter hair, but it would be like light brown. And I have a friend who's Amerasian. She's half Korean, half white, and she has beautiful hazel eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which isn't very common in Asian people. But her daddy had blue eyes.
What's her name?
Her name is Kim, and she don't live here. It's like,
Where she live at?
and she live in Georgia, the state.
Hey,
Atlanta, Georgia State?
No, not Atlanta. And no, she does. Well, she might now.
Is she thick though?
She did.
She's my age, so she's not.
Hey, my ass all that.
I don't know what she looks like in her body because I'm friends with her on Facebook. I don't know what her body looks like.
You should know her body. What's your never mind.
I was her friend in middle school. She weighed like 100 pounds.
Is her body
Okay,
banging though?
I don't know.
Is it out there?
You know what?
Where she
Anyway,
at though?
Hey, but so anyway,
these boys have problems.
I don't have
These are
problems.
issues.
I was just.
I love
asking
women.
questions.
I can't. I'm just asking
I
questions.
was just asking questions. So basically, what I get from here, man, is when I was coming up, man, and I was in Transformers, G.I. Joe. It was only like one black person on G.I. Joe.
That's all right.
Hey, at least you have one.
Black person.
And,
I was like, at least you have one.
Yeah. So
Hey, but look at all these
but-
like
but-
Jet Li and.
But still, though, it was like, I mean, was Destro black? I always thought Destro was black.
Destro. Who Destro?
Man, G.I. Joe.
Wait,
I will look it up. What's his name?
Destro. No, man.
Death
I
Row?
was Destro. The one that was the
How do you
Baron.
spell it?
D-E-S. Destro. The one that had the mask on.
He's Scottish or some shit like that.
He sounded like he was black, though.
No, Destro. You talking about the one that like ended up being like a metal head?
Yeah.
He's like Scottish or something. Like
He has a mask. You don't know if he's black or white. Or whatever.
Destro. No,
I was hoping he
because
was black.
Snake Eyes is a white dude.
I thought Snake Eye. I wasn't
Snake Eyes is a white dude. He got beat up. He got beat up by a little Asian kid. And then he ended up becoming like better than the Asian kid. And then the Asian kid stabbed the master in the back.
His face was burned. He doesn't have a color.
Destro?
He has burned skin. That's what
Let me
he
see.
has. That's why it says Destro. The name Destro comes from his ancestor who also had his face burned and was forced to wear an iron mask for the rest of his life.
Well, I wanted
Destro was not Asian though. I'm telling you, Destro was a
Well, I
He
white
was
dude.
Asian. He thought he
He's a
was
white
black.
dude.
I wanted Destro and Snake Eyes to be black on cool, okay? But anyway,
Snake Eyes was
because they only had one black person on there, bro.
That's alright though. It was.
Do y'all remember his name?
Rampage Jackson.
Do y'all remember his name? Though?
You killed you smiled my girl, I'll kill you, fool. Oh wait, that was
That's 18.
I was 18. Wait, hey, look.
Man,
I'm sorry, bro. I'm saying.
man. But anyway, man.
Dwayne Johnson.
No, man.
That's the Rock.
I don't know.
He had to bring
He
that
was
up.
portrayed by Dwayne Johnson. My
What was the
bad.
dude's name though? No,
I'm trying to
Dwayne
find
Johnson
out.
was Duke though, wasn't he?
No, Duke was
Y'all talking about the movie. I'm talking about
Duke was what's that nigga's name? The white dude.
Oh, man.
Fuck. What's his name?
Oh, man.
You know what? This is not about the topic.
Well, anyway, but yeah, so I when I was growing up, like I liked G.I. Joe, I liked Transformers.
Roadblock.
Yeah, Roadblock.
Roadblock is the most prominent African American character in the animated series of G.I. Joe.
See? But then none of us know his name. But yeah, did y'all
I watched Thundercats.
I did not watch G.I. Joe, so I don't feel bad about that.
I watched Thundercats and
Did Thundercats have a black guy?
They was all cats.
No, they're all cats. They're all
I
blonde cats.
I used to make one of them black though,
He's like
I feel like
Thundercats. Oh, I mean,
no, but in Transformers I try to make them.
Oh, hey.
You
you probably watched Rainbow Bright.
I did watch Rainbow.
Exactly.
Okay.
And Teddy Ruxpin?
Who?
Teddy Ruxpin? Fuck you.
How you gonna talk about Teddy Ruxpin and not know about G.I. Joe, man?
I watched Ninja Turtle, old ass nigga.
I watched.
I know, I watched it too.
I watched
What?
Ninja Turtles too.
I like this.
Okay, so
when Ninja Turtles the movie came out, did any of y'all think that like fucking Raphael was black? Because he sure as hell sounded black.
Probably was.
I thought all of them black on the coat.
Michelangelo?
Oh yeah, man, because they were turtles and they had to live.
They were turtles! They could read!
They had to live in bad
You still have Vanilla Ice on there though
They had to
too.
live in bad
But he wasn't a turtle. He wasn't a turtle. He was on there.
He still made a song about them like on the flip right in there.
But see, they had to live in bad.
That's a great song. Nope. You take that back.
Nope.
No,
I was
Not taking it back.
I really ought to see violence on this show right now.
Vanilla Ice though.
It's Vanilla. You can't knock Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, you can.
No, you
Yeah,
can't.
you
Though.
Yeah, you can.
Nah. Yeah, you know what?
I like Vanilla Ice. Like, I was like so excited when Vanilla Ice came out because I was like, oh, look, a white rapper. It's like, and Eminem is one of my favorites. I'm not even gonna lie.
So
Eminem is one of my favorites.
So basically, man, I'm gonna say that. I'm glad that like when they came out with the Avengers, I thought it was cool because
When they came out Black Panther.
they came out. Well, they had a couple people that was like
Falcon.
Falcon. Was it Falcon?
Falcon. Yeah,
Is it Falcon or Hawk?
It was
No,
Falcon.
Falcon. There's Hawkeye. There's Hawkeye.
Yeah, Hawkeye.
They had Falcon. They had War Machine, and they had
War Machine.
War Machine was in
Iron
the
Man.
Avengers. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the other guy that was the black dude that was like the colonel in the Air Force.
Right. And then they
Oh, yeah.
then they had Black Panther. You know what I mean? So I know they weren't like considered like one of the main characters besides maybe Black Panther, but it was still cool that they was in the group and they didn't try to demean them.
Mm-hmm.
They were part of the group. You know?
It was
You still had
Right.
Trevette. You still had Trevette in Texas Walker, Texas Ranger. He was black.
I don't know that show.
Trevette.
I don't know that
I mean,
show.
bro, it ain't nowhere cool as the shows we talking about though.
They still walk. Chuck Norris don't take baths. He takes blood baths.
But
Okay.
the thing is like nowadays, you know, toy companies have become more
I don't
inclusive,
know about
and they have, you know, they're more inclusive.
Bruh.
So there's a lot more black dolls. There's Hispanic dolls. There's even some Asian dolls. Not as many Asian dolls as I'd like to see, but there's some Asian dolls. But you know, they do have a lot of black dolls now. They have a lot of. They actually have the Black Barbie, and they have Black Stacy, which is or Skipper, which is Barbie's little sister. You know, they have like the black version of Barbie.
Okay. So you had
You know,
black
so-
kids and all that stuff too.
No, they still got that pretty hair.
Yeah.
They
Why
got-
they have nappy hair though, bro?
Bro, cause this is white people nappy hair too, bro. I mean, I'm like, yo.
Well, why they can't have pretty hair, bro?
Cause not all white people have pretty hair, though.
No, I'm talking about the black girls though.
Cause I don't have pretty hair. They still human. You still gotta comb that shit.
Most of the women that have pretty hair, you know, they work really hard for that shit.
Yeah, you gotta comb that shit.
Okay, but I mean, like,
You know how many patients I had to comb their hair?
Huh?
What type of hair you want the black dogs to have, man?
Regular, normal hair.
He wants them to have afros.
Normal
Not
hair.
afros, but you know, like.
I mean, shit. If your shit ain't naturally like that, then don't sit there and act like it's gonna act out like that.
See,
you
I
want
don't
good hair,
have.
you call that
In
product
all
and then-
honesty, I don't have typical Asian hair. My hair is curly. You know, it was straight last week, but that's because I straightened it. This is my hair.
Okay, but
Most Asian people have straight black hair. But
Yeah. So we're out of time. We're out of a lot of time. But
leave your comments. Let us know what you think about these pictures. We're gonna try and figure out a way to probably try to post these pictures so y'all can see them better.
I gotta do one more thing. This, if y'all notice, I've been wearing this purple hoodie that me and Jeanette had a whole conversation about. It's not a
He kept calling it a
jacket.
jacket. And
She
I was
said
like,
it
"It's not
doesn't
a
zip
jacket."
and everything. It's a hoodie. So whatever. Anyways, it says nowhere. It means black in French. My cousin made it. Y'all holler at that man, Mike Newsome. If you want to see more pictures, go on IG LivexNoir. Live LIVEX Noir NOIR. Go on IG, hit him up and
You can tag it.
hit him up. I'll tag you too. I'll tag him. Hit him up in his DM. He's pretty reasonable by his prices. This was $50 with shipping. He'll ship it to you through USPS. That means the United States Postal Service. But anyway, he's gonna
Let's
ship.
keep our postal service in business, y'all.
Please. So let's keep postal in business. Get him some business. If you like what you see, he's got joggers, he's got shirts, he's got hoodies. Hit that man up. So
He might have jackets.
and I paid for this. So it's not like, hey, cuz, hit brother. No. So I told him
We don't get paid for advertising.
I don't get paid for advertising. I'm trying to help the man out. So
we're gonna take that back.
y'all hit that man up. Mike Newsome on IG, LivexNoir. He's also got a Facebook page, Micheal Newsome. Well, actually put Mike Newsome, NEWSOME. Do not forget the damn E. That's all I gotta say.
Okay.
Ben is very passionate today.
I guess I'll do a final thought. The final thought, the name of the show is in our image, right? In our image. So basically, man, we all want to be treated as people. We all want to be loved. And we all want to see some part of who we are in society, representing society. So that's the show. So next episode will be episode 13.
It's gonna be on Halloween, y'all. I will not be here. Sorry.
Jeanette has some other things she needs to take care of, so
It's Halloween.
it'll be myself, Ben the Awesome Newsome, and JPZ, the creator, also the five-time All-Star Hall of Fame ballot. Put some respect on that man's name.
Coach of the I'm one of the line coaches.
He's an O-line coach of the Bexar County Bombers.
Yeah.
Put some respect on that man's name. He done went from player to coach. And he's gonna be a Hall of Fame coach too. Cause he's a five-time All-Star semi of the pro. Put some respect on that man's name. And we all start that semi-pro Hall of Fame. This man better be in the semi-pro Hall of Fame. Or Ben Newsome is gonna raise some hell.
Well, they already got a semi.
All right, everybody. So that's our show for tonight. Please subscribe and like and watch their show on Saturday. Y'all are going to be talking to some semi-pro team, right?
We're going to talk to River City Hornets. So y'all tune in for our exclusive interview with the River City Hornets. We're going to talk to 3 of the players. Halloween night. It's going to be scary, y'all.
Good night.
Good night. Oh, shit.